store, where did all those rods go that I don't have? So anyway, they get bagged and they get put in the racks, and hopefully one of you guys will call up and tell me that your store needs about 100 of whatever. And we'll take them out of those racks where you see all the finished rods, and they go over to the shipping department over on the other side, and they get shipped out of it. Okay. Any questions?
Have you ever figured out about how many people hours it takes to build a rod?
Yeah, they know. In fact, the bean counters have gone through, and one of our big issues, especially when things are slow, is maintaining our cost of goods. In other words, if we figure that you're going to build, let's say you're going to kit 40 rods a day, and we don't have 40 rods a day for you to kit, then our cost of goods goes up. If you do 20, it doubles. So we have to be very careful about what we build, how we build it, and what's in stock and what's not in stock. And that includes all of the blanks as well as the finished rods. So you'll see that these bins, some of these bins have a lot of blanks in them, and some don't have very many. And depending on the material and the number of blanks we have to cut, when we cut blanks, we make what we call a cup. But that's a given number of blanks so that we don't waste the material. So if we have a cut and we only need part of that, then the rest of those go into the bins. And sometimes we end up with a bin full of stuff that we don't need right away. Eventually, all of those bins will empty, and we'll be scrambling to catch up again.
You ever think of kitting rods for public sale?
We cannot sell to the general public. We are a manufacturer and sell to distributors and to stores. Because of the excise tax issues and that sort of thing, so we don't do that. I know there's a lot of people that would like to be able to come in here and buy. And you know, another thing that you don't really see or are aware of here is that we sell components to a lot of distributors and other people that are building custom rods. So we have all of American Tackle's thread. We have American Tackle guides, fishing guides, pack bay guides, reel seats from AFTO, pack bay, American Tackle that we sell in large quantities. So people don't really think of us as a distributor for components. But indeed, we do have. We have cotton butt cord in 10 different colors that's available. You can't. We're the West Coast distributor for that. Seine cord. We have seine cord in 7 or 8 different sizes that you use for wrapping the deckhand type rods. Shrink tubing. We have shrink tubing. We have finish, we have epoxy, we have all sorts of stuff that we sell to the distributors. Yes?
What's your #1 selling rod?
I have not a clue. But Randy may, because he and Darren, our new general manager, have gone through all of that. We have some rods, the older ones, that don't move as fast as you used to. Right now we are into developing several new lines of fishing rods that will be probably coming out at the Fred Hall show. We have prototypes that are out in the field right now being tested, and we'll have an entire new line of bass rods. A new line called React Pro. We have a new line of saltwater rods that do those black rods that you saw on the other side with the shrink tube foregrip on it. We've got a lot of new stuff that's coming out of here, and we'll debut at that new at this next Fred Hall show.
Are the trout rods part of that?
The trout rods, yes, will be part of that. We have some trout rods that Randy's building up for the big tournament in December, and there will be a flyer in each of the folders that we have for you. Back over on the other side, we've got a hat and a folder and whatever for you to take home with you to kind of see if you figure out what the heck we're doing here. We are literally doing so much. I've done some research and development at home with reference to micro guides and the way those rods are set up now. I don't know if you're familiar with micro guides. I've got one over on the other side that I can show you, but the guides are very tiny, and there are some very definite advantages to it. The problem with micro guides is setting rods up on a production basis, and how tiny do you really want to get? Actually, I don't think they need to be much smaller than a size 4 micro guide, and preferably a size 5 or 6. 6 is a standard small guide. So, any other questions? Okay, let's go over on the other side where we started.